Welcome to New Team CGC 9.8 video. So today's another unbox video of my newest addition to the collection, newest CGC 9.8. It's a Batman comic, and it's a pretty interesting book, I think, for this era. There's sort of two other very comparable books, I think, to it, and looking on the census and everything, I have sort of reached a conclusion that this probably is the best one, so that's kind of why I purchased it, other than those other two books. So we'll look at all its compares and check it out on the census. A little bit different for this one too is it's a CBCS 9.8. So kind of showed it in the title a little bit, but I say one of the things about grading companies is you just want to buy the book, sort of. So you really look at the book. If it looks great, then whether it's a CBCS 9.8 or a CGC 9.8, it'll probably be worth the purchase. And this book really passes like the eye test for sure. It's a CBCS 9.8, but yeah, let's just get right into it. Batman book, as I said, CGC 9.8. It's from 1989. And yeah, we'll do a full analysis. And my conclusion was that this is probably one of the best affordable key issues to buy. That's sort of another under the radar one. I know we did kind of a 90s under the radar video, but this could certainly fit into like an 80s book under the radar video. CBCS books kind of come in their own sleeve too, which is nice. Okay, newest addition to the collection. A very nice copy of Batman 436. So this is the first appearance of Tim Drake, and they retell the origin of Dick Grayson too in this. And it's a George Perez cover, so really kind of iconic artist. A lot going on the cover, but yeah, really start to like it, and especially when the colors are as crisp as this issue is. Yeah, really nice centering, nice colors, no pages sticking out the side, a lot of stuff we talk about. So yeah, when I saw it in the CBCS 9.8, I thought it would be one to jump on. Let's look at the census here really quick. 84 CGC 9.8s in the blue label. Now, obviously, this is a CBCS 9.8. I'm unaware if CBCS has a census. I don't know if maybe you remember they allow you to get to a census or something, but I'm pretty sure they don't have a census. So, still, the CGC census is going to give us a good idea of like how rare this is compared to other books, because I do want to compare them to two other books. I do want to compare this to two other books. There's 84 though, in the CGC 9.8 on the blue label. Not very many signature series books either. So this is a lot more rare than I thought, which is, when I looked at that on the census, then I really kind of drilled down that I wanted this book, especially over the comparables. CGC 9.8 ratio is 21%, which is kind of bang on. Really, like for a Batman book too, that's a really kind of investment grade ratio, because usually Batman books, there's less of them. So, there tends to be a lot less graded, and there tends to be, really, I think, serious Batman collectors that have sent their books in. So there's sort of more likely to be 9.8s relatively, which is usually CGC 9.8 ratios on like Batman books of the 80s are 20 or 30%, like definitely over 20%, but sometimes over 30% even. But this one had 21%, so quite rare. But you mix that with 84 only, like less than 100 on the CGC census. Yeah, I think this is a really cool book to get for sure. So yeah, I talked about some of the comparables. Comparing, there's two. Batman 442, which is a really cool Robin cover where Tim Drake first puts on the Robin costume. And then there's 457, which is the first appearance of Tim Drake as Robin, like officially kind of deal, with a cool kind of scarecrow cover. So those two books, as we mentioned, 84 in the CGC 9.8 of this book. For Batman 442, there's 260 9.8s, and for Batman 457, there's 232 9.8s. So those are more popular. There's more 9.8s. The 9.8 ratios are worse too. They're relatively less rare than this book too. So, and they're more popular. You see those quite often, and those are books that I've decided to lay off on, essentially, because I don't know. you know, even at my local comic shop, their Batman bin, they're full of those, like Batman 442 and Batman 457. They're like very common, were well printed, and I think this one's just a lot more rare. Like the facts show that on the census for sure. And then it's the first appearance of Tim Drake, so you know you always want to get the first appearance more so than you know some of the notables. You know where he became Robin is definitely cool, but you know when if it's the first overall appearance and it looks better on the census and it's more rare, and that's you know put all those together, and that's why I decided to kind of go after this one. Now, yeah, I got a CBCS 9.8, but I'm definitely kind of just looking on the census and seeing that there's only 84. I'm really on the lookout actually for a CGC 9.8 of this book. Because, yeah, I think Tim Drake is, you know, certainly if you can get a first appearance of, you know, I think a really iconic character. And I haven't watched too much like DC Universe stuff, but I heard people talk online about Tim Drake's character in some of these animated DC Universe movies. So I know he's, you know, certainly with the young Batman fans even, like, it's certainly a character that they like. And if you can get the first appearance, and it's quite rare on the census, and it looks quite investment grade on the CGC census, for, yeah, actually, I don't even think I mentioned the price yet. I purchased this for $100, and it was in Canada, too, for quite cheap shipping. So that was good for me. And, I actually have seen this book in the CGC 9.8 in an auction sell for like 85, I think it was, or 87. So it's certainly not like a rock bottom price, and that was a CGC 9.8. But it was a fair price, I think, you know, 10 or 15 more dollars than what a rock bottom CGC 9.8 would be, which isn't bad. And then another thing I mentioned at the beginning where, you know, I always recommend to kind of buy the book, not the grading company. And again, I looked at this, I could see that the colors were spectacular. I could see that it was nicely centered. Direct edition too, not the newsstand edition. And they say that on CBCS labels, which is pretty cool. Yeah, no pages sticking out the side. This is just really, visually is very, very high grade. Yeah, honestly, yeah, super flat pages as well. So, yeah, again, buying the book, not the grading company, I thought it was worth the price. And, but yeah, with 84 CGC 9.8s, I kind of want a CGC 9.8 still. I definitely got that itch to, because, you know, only $100 for, again, Tim Drake, I think is, you know, sort of an underfollowed first appearance now, but, you know, he's a movie away or, you know, something, and a great actor away from being huge. And, you know, I could see if he was a hit in a movie you know, was played by a really great actor that caught on, I could see first Tim Drake being maybe even over $200, so doubling from, you know, where it is from now, this book. Batman 436, yeah, CBCS 9.8 white pages. And, yeah, again, buying the book, I'm really happy to just have a super high grade version of this book. And again, we compared them to, yeah, it's kind of direct comparables, less of it on the census, so there's less supply, which is more rare. The CGC 9.8 ratio is lower, which is better. Lower the better with those 9.8 ratios. So looks the best on the census out of its immediate kind of comparables. So I really like this book. And like I said, I want to pick up another CGC 9.8 instead of going after like a Batman 442 or a Batman 457. I never was really attracted to those books. And again, seeing them in long boxes, just issue after issue after issue after issue, even though they're in lower grades, but I don't know, I'm just not sure if they're that popular, whereas a first appearance of a great character is always going to be kind of timeless, I think. So, and again, better on the census, so why not? Okay, that's going to be it for this video. Quick unbox today. I got a couple other packages coming in too, and so I don't think I'll do an unbox tomorrow, but I think I missed a package today, but certainly a couple more unboxes coming up, and we'll get into some other video ideas too. So, yeah, I'd invite you to join the team and subscribe to Team CGC 9.8. Like, when you press subscribe, the bell pops up, hit the bell, get all our latest notifications. Yeah, trying to do like 4 or 5 videos a week, so, you know, try to stay pretty consistent with it. But, yeah, you know, really great underfollowed investment grade book. I think for $100, this is one of the better ones out there. Like, first appearance of Tim Drake. Yeah, I could see this with any type of Tim Drake promotion or anything like that. I could see this issue being a lot more money. And yeah, cool cover, Batman books. I love it. Fits right into my collection. So yeah, happy I could share it with everyone. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you on the next video.